Just wanted to answer a question that came. Could Laylatul Qadr be on an even night fil ashfa' or is it only in the awtar, the odd nights? This is a discussion amongst the scholars. It's a topic. But in terms of what Imam Bukhari inclines to, he has a chapter, Babu Taharri Laylatul Qadr fil witri min al-ashr al-awakhir. The hadith of Aisha in Bukhari. The Prophet said, work diligently in attaining Laylatul Qadr on the odd nights of the last 10. So Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani Fath al-Bari says في هذه الترجمة إشارة إلى رجحان كون ليلة القدر منحصرة في رمضان. In this chapter of Imam Bukhari, it indicates to what is a stronger view, that Laylatul Qadr is confined to the month of Ramadan. And also then he said ثم في العشر الأخير منه, and in the last tens of it ثم في أوتاري, then it's confined in its odd nights. لا في ليلة منه بعينها, not in a specific night from it. وهذا هو الذي يدل عليه مجموع الأخبار الواردة فيها. This is what many of the reports that have been coming together regarding Laylatul Qadr indicates. So this is what Ibn Hajar mentions about Imam Bukhari's chapter and what he inclines to. Yes, there are a group of scholars who say that it is arja wa akad, it's more greatly to be found in the odd nights, but it's possible to be found in the even nights. A lot of scholars say that, and they take it from the wording itself, taharraw, showing that it's the working extra harder in specific on the odd nights more than other nights. That the Prophet ﷺ would work hard in all of the nights, but would work hard even more in the odd nights. So showing that there's a possibility. And they also use certain texts and narrations to support that. Also Ibn Taymiyyah, he has speech. He's from those scholars that support the view that at times the even number could be the odd number, depending on the month, how it is looked at. If it's a complete month, then that even number becomes the odd night. And if it is decreased, then it's looked at it from either from the beginning of the month, the nights of the 10 nights, or looked at from the ending of it if it is complete. And there's even scholars who say, like Sheikh Mbaz, he says, وَإِذَا نَقَصَ الشَّهْرُ صَارَ كُلُّهَا أَوْتَارٌ. And if the month is not complete, then all of it is the odd nights in reality. This is even what Sheikh Mbaz says. And there's a discussion in this matter. Some have even written authorships saying, like for example, some of the Kutab al-Mu'asirin, some of the authors of today wrote that Laylatul Qadr قد تكون في ليالي الشبع. They wrote books saying that Laylatul Qadr could be in the even nights. And there's some who wrote to respond to that, a treatise titled, about 38-page treatise, Laylatul Qadr لا تأتي في الليالي الشفع من العشر الأواخر. Laylatul Qadr cannot come in the even nights of the last 10 nights. And he brings a number of proofs to support that. And he also addresses what was brought forward to show the possibility of it coming in the even nights. And he responds in depth even to the speech of Ibn Taymiyyah and what was attributed to the understanding of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. And he goes into length and he addresses the matter thoroughly. So it's a discussion. And also the contemporary ulama of our time, they differ amongst themselves. Uthman says it could occur in the even. Some of the other scholars of our time, Sheikh Albani says he doesn't know about it being something that occurs in the even. So, nonetheless, a person, as we intend to work hard throughout all of these nights, but we just want to discuss the topic of, and being that there's different announcements of the moon sighting of the beginning of Ramadan. Does this affect Laylatul Qadr? And do we say Laylatul Qadr could be multiplied or could be تتعدد الليلة, it can be more than one night depending on the different moon sightings. Some scholars, like Sheikh AbdulFattaah, he has an audio titled هل تتعدى ليلة القدر اختلاف مطالع رؤية الهلال. Does the night of Laylatul Qadr could be more than one night depending on the different sighting of the moon? So he says it's one night, and for example, it could be 21st night for one people, and the other people who didn't, or who've seen the moon or didn't see the moon, it can be the other nights. So this is the meaning of it. And also what he says, not indicating that it's just one night. His opinion in the matter. Sheikh Muhammad Salih Uthman was asked as well, اختلاف المطالع وتواقيت الدول, the difference of the sighting of the moon and the times of different countries. He sees that the people, to get the exact of Laylatul Qadr, is to go with the first country that sights the moon. To go with the first country that sights the moon, that's his opinion. To be as one night. But I want to share some speech of Sheikh Albani. He was asked, هل اختلاف, does the differing affect Laylatul Qadr? So we're going to listen to some speech here. Sheikh Salim Hilali is asking him.
وهل الاختلاف الصيام في بدء الشهر إذا كان في خطأ هل يؤثر هذا على ليلة القدر؟
So he's asking, does the differing of the moon sighting of the beginning of Ramadan affect, and suppose if there's an error in the calculation of the beginning of the month, does that affect when Laylatul Qadr is?
يعني سؤال اختلاف في إثبات الشهر. في إثبات الشهر يعني صمنا 29 شعبان قالوا أنه دخل رمضان. هل يؤثر هذا على 10 الأواخر أو الأواخر؟ لا ما بيأثر لأن رب العالمين هو الذي يقدر الأمور بالنسبة للمتحابين هؤلاء.
So Sheikh Albani responds by saying, it doesn't affect Laylatul Qadr of the last 10 nights, because Allah yuqaddir al-umur, Allah decrees the affairs according to the worshippers, of how they are seeing things and how they come to conclusion of what they decided when Ramadan started and what they're calculating it to be the last 10 nights. And this is more accurate. And even Ibn Taymiyyah, when he was speaking about if people were to miscalculate when Arafah were to enter, he says, وَعَلَى هَذَا الْعَمَلْ عند أئمة المسلمين أئمة المسلمين كلهم فإن الناس لو وقفوا بعرفة في اليوم العاشر خطأ أجزأهم الوقوف بالاتفاق وكان ذلك اليوم يوم عرفة في حقهم. Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah mentions that regarding the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, that if an error occurred in calculating the month, that does not affect the day that they deem to be Arafah. It becomes Arafah for them, even if it's a day of error. For this reason, the opinion that states to fast, for example, every year, all 3 days of Dhul Hijjah, to catch Arafah and to not miss it due to a possibility of a miscalculation in the month, is not the strongest opinion. And so we must take the same stance for if the people consider it to be the 27th night, we shouldn't say it's possible it's the 26th or it's this day because of miscalculation or different moon sightings. The people are going to be decree their affairs according to what they have reached of their calculations. This is how we should deal with the matter. So it's more accurate to say that the day that the people have determined to be the beginning of the last 10 nights based upon their calculations, we say that's the beginning of it. And we also say, if they say this is the odd night for them, then it's the odd night. We don't say it's possible it's an even night. But those other scholars were saying that they were saying it from an angle, if the month becomes 30 days or 29 days, that's their point of view. And also the other point of view is that they see that it's possible that the Laylatul Qadr could occur on an even night. Not them saying that the odd becomes an even night. This is what, from what's apparent. But if a person looks into the matter further, he may see that the speech that says Laylatul Qadr is confined to the odd nights to be a strong opinion. Yes, there are a lot of scholars who say that it's possible, and they said by the witness that occurred through some of its signs, even on even nights. That's what they mentioned. So if someone were to just be on the safe side and to work hard throughout all of the nights, then they also have this caution, this wara of just trying to be attaining it, inshallah. As for the speech of Al-Qastalani and Irshad al-Sari, his speech of Sahih Bukhari, he says, وَأَمَّا الْقَوْلِ بِإِنْحِسَارِهَا فِي سَبْعِ الْأَوَاخِرِ فَلَا نَعْرِفُ قَائِلًا بِهِ. He says, as for the statement that says that Laylatul Qadr is confined to the last 7 of the 10, he said, we don't know a scholar that's held this opinion. That's probably speaking, referring to the last 7, because there comes a hadith saying, تَحَرَّوْهَا فِي السَّبْعِ الْأَوَاخِرِ. Work hard and try to attain Laylatul Qadr in the last 7. But as for if it being confined to the odd nights, there are, as we mentioned, some scholars who hold that opinion, and there's others who don't. They just say it's highly great in chances to be in the odd, and it's possible to be the even. This is what I wanted to share, that the person looks into the matter. And I wanted to discuss this topic of does the month, does the last 10 nights get affected by the month being complete or not? This is once I shared with the brothers of some narrations to show that it doesn't. The last 10 nights of his odd nights are not affected by the month being complete or not. It stays as it is. So the opinion of Ibn Taymiyyah, some have not accepted it, but I wanted to read you here some of that opinion, inshallah, of it. So the odd nights are determined based on the origin, that the month being 29 days. If the month is 30 days, the odd nights do not become the even nights on the stronger view. A few authors have written convincing responses to those who said that the odd nights could actually be an even nights based on the month being complete. And they took the hadith of Ibn Abbas, أتاني جبريل فقال الشهر 29 يوما. That the month of Jibreel came to the Prophet and said the month is 29 days. That's the origin. And there's other hadith of Salama that the Prophet ﷺ, he made an oath towards his wife for a month. فَلَمَّا كَانَ 29 راح أو غدا. Like once the 29 days became, the Prophet ﷺ fulfilled his oath. So it shows you the ruling goes by 29. That's the affair. And also what indicates the Prophet ﷺ was asked on Laylatul Qadr, and he mentioned, then he says, فَإِنَّ الشَّهْرَ لَا يَتِمُّ. The month will not be complete. The month will not be complete. And they also, he wanted to use what they use as well, and because the last 10 nights of Ramadan are actually 9 nights. If the month is complete, the last night is like an additional night added. This is what is added, and it's not something that, and if the moon is not, the crescent is not seen, it's just like an additional night added. It doesn't affect the counting of the last 10 nights. And they use the hadith ibn Umar, تحينوا ليلة القدر في العشر الأواخر أو قال في التسع الأواخر. The Prophet ﷺ, hadith of Sahih Muslim, he said, seek the time of Laylatul Qadr in the last 10 nights, or he said in the last 9 nights. So it's really 9 nights. So someone mentioned that the last 10 nights of Ramadan are actually 9 nights. If the month is complete, the 30 nights is like an additional night added due to not seeing the crescent. And like what Shaykh Ibad says, like with Ashr al-Hijjah, like the first 10 days of the Hijjah, is fasting the 10 days. It actually means fasting 9 days. So the 10th day is Eid. It's common in the Arabic language to mean 9 days, but say 10 by rounding it up. And so we want to understand that we work hard in all the last 10 nights, especially in the odd nights. This is the structure the Prophet ﷺ has found in the narration. التمسوها في العشر الأواخر. Work hard in all last 10 nights. والتمسوها في كل وتر, especially in the odd nights. So this is what we wanted to share. بارك الله فيكم وجزاكم الله خيرا.